The Emperor of Rome clutched a dagger with shaking hands. His empire gone, his allies vanished, his enemies closing in. He tried once, twice, but he couldn't do it. So he whispered to the only man left beside him,
"Teach me how to die."
And that was the final performance of Emperor Nero. Welcome to Dusted Dynasties. Of all the kings, pharaohs, and emperors to have ever lived, few died with such dramatic flair as Nero. His downfall wasn't a sudden collapse, it was a slow-motion tragedy, written and directed by the emperor himself. Nero didn't rule Rome, he performed Rome. He wanted to be applauded, adored, remembered as the greatest artist who ever lived. But when the audience finally stopped clapping, he discovered something terrifying. Even emperors can be booed off stage. Today, we'll journey through the last years of Nero's life. Not the legend, not the rumors, but the real historical spiral into madness, fear, and one final act. When Nero was crowned emperor in 54 CE, he was just 16, a teenager ruling the world's most powerful empire. Not because he earned it, but because his mother, Agrippina the Younger, forced history to bend around her son. She manipulated emperors, arranged marriages, and poisoned rivals until Nero sat on the throne. Rome actually liked young Nero. At first, he lowered taxes, held spectacular games, he listened to advisors like Seneca and Burrus. For 5 years, the empire thought it might finally have a kind, cultured ruler. But Nero had a secret. While everyone else saw him as an emperor, he saw himself as an artist destined for grand stages, not Senate halls. Nero didn't simply enjoy music. He believed the gods had gifted him divine talent. He sang, he played the lyre, and he forced the most powerful men in the empire to listen. Senators, generals, foreign ambassadors. No one could leave until Nero finished his performance. Some audiences clapped so hard they injured their hands, because not clapping meant death. Nero even competed in Greek-style musical contests. And guess what? He always came first, even if he forgot the lyrics. That's the perk of being the judge and the contestant. But the spotlight had a cost. Nero's love for fame was so overwhelming that anything or anyone who threatened to overshadow him disappeared. His teenage wife Octavia, executed on false charges. His own mother, murdered in a staged assassination at sea. After Agrippina's death, Nero reportedly examined her body and commented on her looks. His humanity was fading. Rome was starting to wonder, did they create a star or a monster? Then came the night of July 18th, 64 CE. Flames tore through the capital. Homes, temples, markets, the inferno devoured everything. People ran through the streets, screaming for loved ones trapped in the blaze. Did Nero start the fire? We may never know. But the rumor spread like the flames themselves. Some said they saw imperial servants blocking fire brigades from helping. Others claimed Nero watched the city burn from a tower while singing. Whether that's true or a myth, Nero's next actions made him look guilty. He immediately seized the burnt land and built a palace so massive and luxurious that its name still sounds exaggerated today. The Domus Aurea, the Golden House. A palace that sparkled with jewels and golden decorations, complete with a private lake and a statue of Nero. While Rome buried its ashes, Nero built a playground. And, needing someone else to blame for the catastrophe, he chose Christians. The punishments were horrific: crucifixions, wild beasts, even being set on fire as human torches. Public opinion didn't just turn against Nero, it revolted against him. The emperor had become the villain of his own empire. Rome was losing patience, and the empire was too big for their complaints to be ignored. One by one, provinces rebelled. In Gaul, governors declared independence. In Spain, generals marched against Nero. In Africa, troops mutinied. Even the Praetorian Guard, the emperor's elite protectors, switched sides. Nero was still performing on stage when he got the news. The Senate had declared him the enemy. The applause was gone. The cheering had stopped. The emperor who demanded attention now found himself abandoned. Nero tried bargaining. He promised performances, money, even no more executions. Nobody cared. He disguised himself in old clothes, escaping Rome on horseback with a few terrified servants. No more silk robes, no bodyguards, no glory. The man who once walked marble hallways now crawled through bushes to avoid being seen. He took refuge in the villa of Theon, a freedman, hiding in a filthy storage room cluttered with grain sacks and damp straw. He could hear rumors through the walls. The Senate was planning a show, Nero's show. They wanted to parade him through the streets, beaten and humiliated, before executing him publicly. He had spent his life chasing an audience. Now the audience would come for blood. Nero trembled as he held the dagger. Every second that passed, soldiers drew closer. He begged his last attendants not to let him fall into the hands of his enemies. He imagined torture, insults, his throat crushed as the mob laughed. His whole life he performed confidence, but he died in fear. The man who once took lives so casually struggled to take his own. He tried to steady the blade but couldn't. Sweat soaked his clothes, his breathing turned frantic. So he said to his companion Epaphroditus, "Teach me how to die." Those were the final words of Rome's most dramatic emperor. With help, Nero plunged the dagger into his throat just as soldiers stormed the villa. He collapsed, choking on blood, and muttered a final, proud, delusional line. "What an artist the world loses in me." He died at 30, alone, afraid, still pretending the world should applaud. The curtain dropped, and with it, the entire Julio-Claudian dynasty ended. But Nero wasn't finished haunting history. The lower classes mourned him. Despite his cruelty, he had given them games, theater, and gifts. Artists adored him for lifting their status. Rumors spread like wildfire. Nero wasn't dead. He would return. Over the following decades, at least 3 imposters claimed to be Nero, stirring political rebellions. He became a ghost in Rome's imagination, a nightmare some feared and some secretly missed. His downfall wasn't a footnote in history. It was a drama with every possible twist, and one desperate final act. Nero's last performance was his own death. If Nero's story gave you chills, then you're going to love the rest of what we uncover here. Tell us in the comments, was Nero a misunderstood artist or a dangerous narcissist who destroyed Rome? Hit that like button to help others discover these dramatic true stories. And don't forget to subscribe to Dusted Dynasties, where history's greatest rulers take center stage.